Okay, just doing one final check. And it looks like we are indeed good to go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the ARC Formula One America's Championship. We're here for round 4 out of 15 at Barcelona, Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. We're going with some qualifying at the moment. First out on the track is the Alpine team, 1 and 2 at the moment. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer will be the first to lay down a lap. Teammate Andrew Davis not far behind.
Yep. Should point out here, points leader, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Just want to bring that up as, again, we don't actually have, I'm just going to make sure before I say it. Yeah, Nicolas Pichet not here. Want to point out, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer has made it to every race thus far this season, and that is why he's sitting there on the top of the tables, Alice, with 51 points. So...
That's true, tied for the lead of the Drivers' Championship at the moment. The field is looking a bit thin tonight, though.
Yep, the title contesters, Nico Pichet, who is level with Jurgensmeyer with 51 points, and Mikey de Jong, both of them not here today. So that puts a lot of pressure on these guys who aren't here. And honestly, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, who we've said hasn't qualified great, but as of late, Alex, he has been spot on the Saturday, so to speak.
A few names that are a bit new to the grid as well. I'm not too sure if they were out last week, but we want to give a shout out, of course, to Casper, currently racing in the Alfa Romeo, as well as Lewis Rundle in the AlphaTauri, who I believe was out last week, right, Bill?
Yep, Lewis Rundle made his debut last week, as well as Casper. Casper, involved in a few incidents, was absolutely rapid. He is, I want to say right now, Alex, he is probably our favorite for pole position. He showed the pace at Singapore, and yeah, he's absolutely on it. He just made a bunch of mistakes, was caught up in incidents, and just mired him down in traffic. But also, want to shout out last week's first podium winner, Julius Duku. He's looking to follow up that success of last week with another podium this week. He's been absolutely rapid thus far this season, Alex. So look for him to be a contender. But my guess for pole is at Alfa Romeo.
Jonathan Jurgensmeyer first across the line with the 112.338. Teammate Andrew Davis not too far off, about 0.2 of a second with the 112.5.
Yeah, ever since the reconfiguration of this track, Alex, it is one of my favorites. Absolutely flowing sections, 1 and 2 very technical, where section 2 is a bit undulating. You know, you get your ups and your downs with the elevation changes, but as they changed up sector 3, getting rid of the chicane, it enabled some really good racing and a lot of speed coming off that final corner and down to the first corner.
Coming across the line to start their lap now is Gabe Cazola. Bill, do you want to follow Gabe along for a lap around?
Yeah, absolutely, completely unprepared for this, but where is Gabe in that McLaren as he comes through the first sector here? That'll be turns, the long turn 3 as he gets ready to dive into turn 4. It's important to carry the speed here. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin, but it's all right. Just want to get a banker in here. A lot of curb there and a lot of exit curb. That's going to hurt his lap time, Alex. It's important right here to get on the brakes early. This is a very scruffy lap. This is probably the worst person we could have gone to. I won't lie. But either way, it's our DRS zone as he opens it up and avoids a bit of traffic there. The Red Bull. I believe that was Jackson Altman. As I mentioned before, this is that. He is just. We saw this last week. He had a bit of handling issues, and yeah, it's just continuing this week. A very, very scruffy lap. This could not have been a worse person to ride on board with there. That's a 1:14.6, about 3 seconds off the pace. as Cameron Lopez goes to the top of the table.
Yeah, as we were following Gabe Cazola around, it was Jamie Knock who claimed provisional pole, if only for a moment before Cameron Lopez swooped in with that 111.5, the first driver into the 11s.
Yeah, I think a respectable lap time to go on board with here would be Casper here. Casper runs through the final corner now, dives it in. That's much more appropriate than what you're going to see. It surely might be atop of the table, and yes, it is, Alex.
Yeah, great lap there. Provisional pole for the Alfa Romeo with the 111.2.
We see Mikey DeYoung actually made it to the session without us noticing as he starts his outlap. Mikey missing last week at Singapore and, in fact, joining us in the booth. So we'll see what he can do as he rounds sector corner 1 and 2. I don't know about you, Alex, but this is one of my favorite tracks. It flows beautifully. There's just so much stuff going on. It's a shame they went away from this from winter testing, but I could see why. As the first race in Bahrain, you'd want to, logistically.
Boryoshi coming across there, P3 for the moment, 112.029 for him in the Mercedes. Respectable first lap, and of course, as mentioned, these first times being thrown up on the board for the most part, besides a few of them, are just kind of bankers. Of course, we should expect to see times fall as we go further into this session, about 10.5 minutes remaining at the moment. And Mikey
Mikey
DeYoung,
DeYoung.
as he comes across, it is P2 for the time being. Currently P3 in the driver's standings with 40 points, 11 behind Jonathan Juergensmeyer. But of course, he's a contender week in and week out. We should expect to see a great performance from him this week. A track that he considers one of his favorites.
Yeah, as we saw briefly there, Jamie Cavanini actually joined the session, so he'll be able to make it for qualifying. A lot of drivers showing up a bit
Oh,
late. They'll be
nice,
on the
yeah.
back foot here.
The field is filling out as we make our way through qualifying. Was looking a bit thin, was kind of worried, but it seems that we should be geared up for a good race here tonight with those who were able to make it in and join at the last minute. Casper still on provisional pole for the time being, though, with that 111.2. Next best is Mikey with the 111.5.
Closely behind him is Cameron Lopez. Two Mercedes drivers also separated by only 2/100ths of a second.
Yeah, that is something. Boryoshi fighting tooth and nail this season. Of course, he was a podium contender, kind of by guarantee most weeks of last season, but this year he finds himself kind of having to struggle a lot more than last year just to be able to score the points that he expects of himself.
Not had the best of luck, Alex, I will say, between the 2 weeks, 3 weeks actually, separating us from our opening round there. Oh, we see Gabe on his outlap go very wide, taking the access road for the other configuration of the track, but he's back on, no harm, no foul.
Jamie Knock, I believe, making his way through a hot lap at the moment. Currently sitting P10 in the driver's standings with 12 points. P6 as far as qualifying is concerned, though, and I'm sure he's looking to improve here as he does go purple through the second sector, I do believe. However, it could be that weird bug where all sectors appear as purple no matter who you're viewing. Can't really tell. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Coming through the final corner and across the line he goes now. Moving up to P4 for him with the 112.0. Not a bad time at all.
Very respectable time, I won't lie.
I I think the big surprise for me thus far in this qualifying session, as we find ourselves about halfway through, is Jackson Altman all the way down in P12 in the Red Bull with a 1:15. Of course, he now goes purple through Sector 2. Unsure if that's legit or not, but we will see as he comes across the line here through the final corner. Over the line goes the Red Bull, and it is P2 for the time being for him. Wow, and look at that, P2 to P4. Those three drivers separated by 8/100ths of a second.
Casper able to find that much more though in his lap, so it's interesting to see. He's still in the pit. He'll probably go out for one more, maybe save a set of softs for the race. See Julius Dooku come across. Oh, he's starting a lap. Oh, he went out there and did a 2-lap scrub on those tires. So
Yeah, a few drivers just kind of getting their feet wet with this one, it seems. Sometimes just kind of banker laps more than anything as we approach 6 minutes left in this qualifying session. Jamie Cavanini, a late entry to this race, looks to be coming across to set his first time of the evening. And it's good for P9 with the 1:12.3. As far as first laps go, I'm sure he's happy with that.
Mikey DeYoung starts his hot lap here. 5 3/4 minute left in qualifying.
Currently P3 about 2/100ths, or maybe 3/100ths, I guess we could say, off the back of that Red Bull. He'll be looking to put in a good one here, as of course I'm sure he expects himself to, and so do we.
See that line you did right there? Super important to carry it out wide to carry maximum speed. Oh, as we see that what else is going on? Nico Piche trying to get in and out of the lobby, so
Yeah, maybe a bit of technical difficulties going on there for our co-leader of the Drivers' Championship.
oh, Mikey's gonna bail out of that lap. Had a snap oversteer moment, so he's gonna duck it off into the pit, save the tires, and live to fight another day.
Yeah, in he goes, and it'll be a restart with only about one lap to be able to put in by the end of this session, so we'll have to wait and see what that Williams is able to bring out. Only a few drivers out on track at the moment. Aiden McCarthy, currently P13 in the other Williams, teammate of Mikey DeYoung. Jamie Knock on an outlap as well, it looks like, making his way through Sector 2. Julius Dugu and Ayrton James, the only other cars on track. Well, I guess I spoke too soon, because Julius Dugu ducks into the pits.
Yeah, and Ayrton Frederick also gonna back out of his lap as he's invalidated. So
So, the first few of the final lap runners will be coming across now. Looks like Ayrton James backed out a bit to be able to run two in a row. He will be the first across the line in this segment of drivers that are currently out looking to put in their final lap. Next over, it looks like will be AJ Knickel along with teammate Lewis Rundle. Currently P8 and P11 for that AlphaTauri team.
The top 10 covered by about a sec.
Yeah.
Oh, and oh no, folks. Nicholas Pichet has arrived, and I believe he can get in, get a setup on. He will get a chance to qualify here.
Oh, he may be the very last car across the line if he's able to make it out, and it looks like he is creeping his way through the pit lane at the moment. And boy, do we have a good one on our hands, folks. Nicholas Pichet has made it into the race this week. We
Do
missed
you
him,
think
I
he gets into
believe,
the
the last
110s,
two.
Alex? No,
I
he was there last week and absolutely
Oh,
walked
okay.
away.
Slowing down for a moment, it looks like, giving
What
himself
the?
some space.
Someone drove right into the back of him. Who was that?
Finds a gap that he feels comfortable with, and he is off and running. He has plenty of time to make it around and across the line for at least one lap here. However, he will kind of have to push a bit harder than you would normally expect for just a standard outlap. Making his way through Sector 2 at the moment, and things have certainly gotten interesting as we see an early retirement from the Mercedes of Boryoshi, currently sitting upon his time of 1:11.6 in P5. He'll have to hope for the best here. Same with Andrew Davis with the 112 flat, 112.075. He will sit upon that time in P8. Hope that nobody advances above him. A few more early retirements down the board, maybe people just backing out of laps and kind of understanding the situation. However, off we go. Nicolas Pichet is off and running as he comes across the line here at Barcelona. And I feel like this is kind of his for the taking. He's got one chance to do it. This is one-shot qualifying as far as it goes for him. Making his way cleanly through the first few corners.
Keeps it nice and tidy out of turn 3 there, Alex. And super smooth through 4. There's
Oh,
a Mercedes turnaround. There's another
and
car
a Red
turnaround.
Bull.
Yeah, very distracting, but he's pushed that aside.
Time to
Takes a
beat, of
lot of curb.
course,
Oh,
11.287.
he just flicks it into 9. So smooth through
Oh,
here as
and
he just
this
rounds
is...
12. Yep.
It's
You can
certainly
tell it's
going
one of
to be
those laps.
close.
I don't know if it's going to be close, Alex. We're probably looking at a 110 here.
Does he
Yep.
make it? He makes it into the 110s by 2/100ths of a second. And with one shot to make it happen, it is Nicolas Pichet on pole position here in Spain for the time being. I believe that is just about
Oh!
everybody except for Jackson
Oh!
Altman, who comes across 4/100ths faster than the time Pichet was able to just put up. The Red Bull inserting himself at the last moment. Call it a buzzer beater, folks. Jackson Altman on provisional pole as the last few cars rumble their way across the line now. And I believe the grid is set here in Spain. Jackson Altman with a Hail Mary more than anything. Wow. What a lap. Oh, I almost feel bad. We were just so caught up in the lap of Pichet, seeing how he'd be able to insert himself.
I watched him come across the line, and I was just like, oh, maybe he can improve, get up to close to P2, and then when it's the top of the table, it's the natural reaction.
It's Jackson Altman who will lead the pack into the first corner here in Spain tonight. And what a lap it must have been. Oh my goodness.
See AJ Knickel a bit stricken there. Oh, that's Ayrton Frederick rather.
So there you have it, folks. It'll be Jackson Altman on pole here in Spain. Nico Pichet will line up alongside him in row 1. Row 2 will be occupied by Casper alongside Micah de Jong, P3 and P4 respectively. Boryoshi qualifying P5 will be alongside Jamie Knock. Lewis Rundle will take P7. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer will start in P8 alongside him. Row 5 will go to Tyler Crabtree P9 and Andrew Davis in P10 in the Alpine. Jamie Cavanini, a late entry, making his way up to P11, so he's got a good chance at some points tonight. He will be alongside AJ Knickel in the AlphaTauri P12. Aidan McCarthy will start P13 with Gabe Cazola P14, and I believe it is Ayrton James, Julius Duku, and Cameron Lopez, surprisingly ending up at the bottom of the board here.
Disqualified.
Oh, that is right. He was disqualified for going the wrong way, and I have to think it may have been off a spin or whatnot that he tried to correct, and the game just kind of punished him a bit for it. But regardless, it seems that he'll be scrapping for any point that he can get tonight, given his starting position.
Well, get ready.
Waiting now for the game to get a hold of itself. Alright, and we are off for the formation lap. Billy, over-under of 2.5 safety cars and VSCs. You taking it?
I don't know. This track, it's very hard. It's not a. You have to go out of your way, Alex, to find a wall here.
Yeah.
Um, but we have seen some stuff. Teammates coming together, a la 2016, leading to Max Verstappen's first career victory in his first race as a Red Bull driver. We have seen some things, especially with our drivers here. We know that, as seen last week, lag can be a bit of an issue, but I look for this to actually be a pretty clean race. I mean, these guys are great. There's the reason they're here, and I want to go with the under, Alex. Just mark my words. Mark it in the chat. I said under. 2.5. We're taking the under. I'll put $10 on it, including my parlay. Wrap it up. But I'm more interested to see if somebody can finally take it to Nicholas Pichet here. We all
Taking a
know
look at
Jackson
the...
Altman. He ain't gonna lay down for no one.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a tough fight between those two straight off the start. Taking a look now at the tire data, though, seeing what strategies everybody's going with. It's Jackson Altman starting on the mediums with Nico Pichet opting for the soft tire. Then Casper on the mediums with Mikey de Jong playing the long game here. He will be on the hard tires. Boryoshi looking to pick up that P4 position as soon as possible, it seems, opting for the soft compound. Jamie Knock and Lewis Rundle behind him on the hards. And then a healthy mix as we go down the rest of the order.
Uh-oh. It's going to be a long road for Cameron Lopez here. Julius Duku a bit out of position here. Our third place finisher last week at Singapore. Let's see what he can do from the back of the field.
So just waiting for a few starting box placements to be finalized, I believe. Game is being the game.
Oh, it's got to be torture for these drivers. Everybody's in their grid. I'm not sure what's going on. Classic. Check in with our resident driver, Mikey de Jong. What's going down there on the grid?
Well, looks like the lobby is lagged or at least glitched.
All right. Well, oh boy.
This might be because some people joined during qualifying, including myself. So
All right. Well, just got word from the race director. We might have to restart the lobby. So if you see people leave, just
yeah,
yep, there it
okay.
is right there. You're gonna see everybody back out. We're gonna set the grid manually here. Stay with us. Classic Codemasters. And while we have a second, just want to say hello to the people in the chat. We've got Luke Allen, who's filled in for Alex last week, team owner of CL7 Racing, the Aston Martins out there. Tyler Crabtree drives for the Boys Racing, who will actually roll off the grid P9. And Jamie Cavanini, who says, oh, yeah, just pay no attention to this race start as it is not real. Let me go ahead and back out here to save everybody time. But Alex, Jamie Cavanini saying just about to go into quality, and his fire alarm went off, so he needed to wait for the fire department. So,
I did see that one. I mean, props on the fire department for getting there fast enough to get him into qualifying soon enough to lay a lap down.
yeah, absolutely. Want to say hello to Lewis, Jamie Knock. Jamie Knock calling it again. He's gonna cook. He said it last week at Singapore. Cooked, burnt it, remade it, came back to have a strong finish. So, just bear with us as we wait for the invites. Whew. Never disappoint us, Codemasters. No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, we've come to expect scenarios like this, unfortunately, just given the state of the game last season
Yeah.
with the formation lap troubles we had and whatnot. So
To be fair, we
technical
were pretty good
difficulties.
for the first couple races here. So, we do all know that in 2.5 months' time, we will get F124. So, there's hope on the horizon, folks. Well, while we have the time, Mikey DeYoung, resident champion, resident driver comms booth guy. Now that you had a second look at it, are you trying to change the strategy going into the race, or what's your plan going forward for the race?
Well, at the moment, I'm gonna keep with my strategy like every week. So I think it's the best to start on the hards and go on to softer compound later on the race. But knowing that Nico is gonna go on the mediums or softs.
He was on the softs to start that race there. I don't know if we don't know if he'll keep to his plan, but
Yeah, I mean, if he does do that, then he's gonna drive away in the beginning, but the tire's gonna fall off like 3 laps later. So I don't know if he's gonna make it.
make a.
You know, I don't know. I don't
It's not
know
going to be a
if he.
sustained gap, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's
All
what
right,
that's what I was gonna try to say.
it's all right, man. English not your first language. We get it. Now question: are you surprised with the pace there of Jackson Altman? Excuse me.
I mean, I knew that Jackson Altman was quicker than usually, but I didn't think he was gonna outqualify Nico Bichet, even though Nico had only 1 lap to do it.
Yeah. Well, a bit of I'm gonna say blue balling, but delayed start. While that happens, Alex, I'm gonna use the restroom. Take it over from here.
Yeah, still waiting to make our way into the new lobby. Looks like it has been created, so I should be getting this race going in just a moment. We apologize, of course, for the technical difficulties on behalf of Codemasters, if nobody else. Looks like we will be off and running in just a moment. Now, it looks like a few appeals already being made regarding some of the qualifying times and whatnot. Most notably, of course, that of Cameron Lopez, who was disqualified from the original session for driving backwards. According to the game, he is making a quick appeal, trying to get that reversed, hopefully before this next race start, if possible. Not sure if he'll be able to, of course, maybe having to start from the back of the grid, but it looks like we also have a few more additions for this race start that we didn't have previously. Taking
Yeah,
a
it might be
look
a
down the
blessing for
list.
some of these folks here. Who do we got, Alex?
Oh, I checked the count before we joined qualifying. I think it's just the people that joined during qualifying that we have already
Yeah.
acknowledged.
I'm actually not seeing Cameron Lopez.
Um, hmm.
That's not good.
So let's see who. Oh, Cameron Lopez has joined.
Did he just get there? Wow.
Yep, looks like he is in.
He
He's
changed
chosen
his
his
name
car.
overnight as well.
So I think we should be good to go. 17 on the grid tonight. That is a good number. Plenty of battles, hopefully, especially up front, given the scenario with Nico Pichet having pole position kind of swiped from him at the very last possible moment by Jackson Altman. I expect that to be a very back and forth battle for the majority of this race. Mikey DeYoung and Boryoshi looking to make the most of that trouble, though, probably duking their way out for the final podium position, if nothing else. I think we're in for a good one tonight. Not expecting too much trouble. Of course, the only possibility for a safety car or any serious incident is contact between two drivers, much more than it would be contact between a driver and a wall or anything that would just be like a single vehicle incident. Not expecting people to be getting into each other to such a degree that we should expect to see safety cars tonight, so should be smooth all the way through. It looks like we will be getting it going here. Lobby has finally sorted itself out. All right, and I mean, I gotta say, shades of last season. Can't help but think maybe it was the formation lap itself that bugged out the previous lobby. Guess we'll have to wait and see if one was planned for again for this one. Alright, just waiting for the last few to trickle in, it seems. Lobby loading its way to completion. And it looks like we'll be off with another formation lap. Jackson Altman taking his place at the head of the pack.
Well, hopefully, it actually works this time.
Yeah, I suppose I'll be waiting on bated breath as they come through the final sector and start to line up. I mean, you'd have to assume that it's fixed, but you can really never tell when it comes to Codemasters, I suppose. Alright, so we approach the moment of truth here as they round the final corner of this formation lap. Coming to the line in just a moment. We will see if we are indeed good to go.
One can hope, Alex.
Taking their places now, Jackson Altman in the lead, Nico Pichet alongside, so on from there with Casper and Mikey DeYoung. A few more strange penalties that the game decides to assess in a way that makes it seem like drivers are disqualified when really they're just lined up outside of their pit box. And so we are just about good to go here. We are off and running. Sorry, I saw a few visual bugs. The car is kind of ghosting in and out, but
I didn't
we're
see
good to
any
go
lights.
here. Can't really tell from that camera angle what's going on. It is Jackson Altman able to maintain the lead through the chicane, gaining
Oh,
a
and
bit. And
Jackson almost switched his decision and went with the softs at the start.
yeah, let's take a look at the tire detail for the moment. It is a battle of the soft compound there between Jackson Altman and Nico Pichet. Casper opting for the mediums with Mikey DeYoung sticking to the hards. I feel like these drivers did kind of catch a glimpse of what was going on around them with the other drivers' tire choices and make some last-minute decisions as we see Lewis Rundle up into P5 on his soft compound tires with AJ Knickel teammate right behind him. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer falling his way down to P7 in the Alpine, also starting on the soft compound tires. Jamie Knock making the move for P8 over Boriyoshi.
Oh, there's contact in the back of the grid as the McLaren of Gabe gets sideways.
Oh, still racing real close to that Aston of Julius Dooku.
Oh, there's people ducking in. We already have the two Mercedes drivers both pitting in. That's not good.
Oh no. I really hope
They're
it's
both
not
butts to
damage.
nuts. Yep, Boryoshi missing his front wing as he gets that changed.
Oh, and this is a death blow for Tyler Crabtree, just waiting behind his teammate for the moment.
Oh no!
Jonathan
Jonathan
Jurgensmeyer.
Jurgensmeyer. Safety cars out. This will help the Mercedes, but oh, your championship leader out on lap 2.
Oh no. And I suppose we might see the wreckage as we follow along with Boryoshi coming through that segment right now. Cannot see that Alpine car for the moment. And yeah,
Just getting word, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer's wheel came disconnected.
oh, and you know, as we spoke about during qualifying, the walls are a bit too far away to cause much of an issue under normal racing circumstances, but losing connection to your wheel is certainly not normal racing circumstances. So that is a day done for the Alpine, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, unfortunately. As mentioned, of course, tied for the lead in the Drivers' Championship with Nico Pichet, currently finding himself in P2. So Jurg will really be on the back foot from here on out, it seems. The lead driver is catching the tail end of the safety car right about now. They will shuffle their way into formation. We will be behind the safety car for probably 2 laps. Get going on lap 5.
Whew. A lot of people pit already. Mikey saying that he was going to stay on the hards, but he went to the mediums. Cameron Lopez pit for the mediums. He moves himself up from P17 to P12. Gabe pit off the softs, went to the mediums. Jamie Cavanini pits for the softs. Boryoshi opts for the hards, and his teammate opts for the medium.
Yeah, the only driver on the grid on those hard compound tires. I guess that was a big call down at the Mercedes pit wall to play it long here. So, once more behind the safety car we will go as we wait for the last few stragglers to catch the back of the pack. At the moment, it is the Mercedes drivers we are waiting on. Both of them pitting after early contact. Not quite to the level of which Jonathan Jurgensmeyer was subjected to, unfortunately. After losing connection to his wheel, he is out of this race.
Shame.
So, drivers in formation, let's take a look at the biggest movers, should we? It's AJ Knickel up 8 positions into P4 in the AlphaTauri. Teammate Lewis Rundle moving up to himself into P5. But Julius Dooku up from P16 to P7. Wow, that's a... I'm not too sure what happened there with that Aston Martin, but really just a cracking first few laps for him, it seems. Ayrton Frederick doing well, also moving up 6 positions into P9. Aidan McCarthy currently in the points-paying spots, P8 with 5 positions gained. Big losers, it is Mikey de Jong and Jamie Knock, losing 6 and 5 positions respectively, currently P10 and 11, but it's Boryoshi, the biggest of them all, unfortunately. From P5 to P15, a fall from grace after early contact. He will be clawing his way back up this grid through this extended second stint on his hard compound tires after ducking into the pits for a new front wing. And it will be on the go of Jackson Altman here. Safety car making its way back into the pits. Burt Mylander, just a cracking job, mate. Always laying it down. Gotta thank him for his service any chance you get, because he's the true MVP.
Yeah, he doesn't have the downforce these guys have. He's out there ragging it.
To the detriment of Lewis Hamilton, of course.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Oh, he's caught Piche lacking.
oh, it looks like it. Jackson Altman is off and running, and already nearly 6/10 of a gap out to Nico Piche in P2. Casper looking to make a move here, possibly. Making his way up the inside of that Ferrari. They are wheel to wheel as
Wow.
they make their way through turn 1. And Nico Piche will maintain the position for the time being. Casper backing out a bit there. AJ Knickel right alongside for the fight, though, looking to pick up the scraps if possible.
And both those Alpha Tauri up there in the scrap. You love to see it.
A great start here from Jackson Altman, though, already getting his lead out to about 7/10 before it started falling for a moment there, now making its way back up to 7. And I feel like this will just be a game of leapfrog out front for the majority of this. Nico Pichet's on the back foot for the moment, but I mean, we know he has it in him to put in a really hot lap at any given moment and retake that lead.
Yeah, we know the statistic, Alex. He's only ever lost one ARC race, so could we see him lose his second today? Jackson Altman, that would be a huge confidence boost for beating a guy that arguably just, oh, as we have a yellow in Sector 3, don't see anything, no
Oh,
one's off, so everything seems copacetic. It's Boryoshi already up into P13. He's trying to claw his way back.
Lewis Rundle plowing his way through one of the advertising boards on the side of the track there. Making his way past teammate AJ Knickel here for P4, and he's off and running.
Yeah, meanwhile, Mikey DeYoung trying to track them both down with his teammate. Oh no, his teammate was up there right behind him. Now Aiden McCarthy finds himself back down the order in P13. Has this contact with him and Jamie Cavanini. Oh, and that's a Red Bull of Cameron Lopez
Cameron
who's off.
Lopez and Gabe Cazola.
Oh, and Borza. I almost saw his Boryoshi again. It was Gabe Cazola, and that's a safety car.
Yeah.
Well,
For the McLaren, it seems, the safety car has been deployed. We were caught up with that battle at the tail end of the pack and did not see what happened with the McLaren, but Gabe Cazola kind of doing Gabe Cazola things. So out goes the McLaren, and that is already 2 drivers down to safety cars. Bill, you starting to question that over-under I gave you earlier? Lap 6 we currently find ourselves on with our second safety car deployed. Jackson Altman will race his way into the pits, not to the tail end of the safety car, and we will see what he chooses to go with. A short stint on those soft compound tires that he started this race on. Jamie Knock will also make his way in. No, I'm sorry, he stays out alongside AJ Knickel with Julius Duku and Boryoshi also opting to stay out. Jamie Cavanini moving his way up into P5, staying out. Aiden McCarthy also staying out, P6. Jackson Altman back out onto the track on the, let's see what he chose to go with, on the medium compound tires. Plenty of race still left. I mean, he's probably banking on a 2-stop or maybe even a 3 at this point. Casper opting for the soft compound tires, Lewis Rundle ducking in for the mediums alongside Nico Pichet, also coming out on the mediums, and then hard tires the rest of the way down the grid for Andrew Davis, Mikey DeYoung, Tyler Crabtree, Ayrton Frederick, and Cameron Lopez. Boryoshi kind of the big winner here. I mean, he kind of had the right idea after the first safety car to duck in and stick on a set of those hard compound tires. He's looking to play the long game, and it's kind of played right into his hands. Plenty of life left in those hard compound tires he currently finds himself on in P4.
Yeah, it's not bad. Jamie Cavanini also up into P5 as these guys pit, so we saw him fighting there with Aiden McCarthy, and now he just finds himself in a bit of a better situation. A lot of these guys going to the hards are going to try and maybe eke it out here to the end, but that remains to be seen.
So it looks like we will be behind the safety car for one more lap, get going on lap number 9 as Cameron Lopez catches the tail end of the pack, just a few moments too late for us to be able to get going on this one. It will be on the go of AJ Knickel this time around, opting to stay out with most of the top half of the grid ducking into the pits on this safety car. Pichet with some fans in the comments, it looks like. Jurg, unfortunate day for him with the early contact, but cheering on his homie here in this one. Nico Pichet currently finding himself in P10. Bit of an uphill battle. He's got at least Lewis Rundle and Casper to go around if he wants to continue his fight with Jackson Altman. However, if there's anybody that can do it tasked with such a job, it's probably this man, Nico Pichet. Safety car will be in this lap, and it will be on the go of AJ Knickel, leading the pack around through the final section. Jamie Knock all over the rear of that AlphaTauri. He is chomping at the bit. And when will it be for this AlphaTauri? On his go, of course. Slowly making his way through the final corner. And we saw an early getaway from Jackson Altman off the previous safety car. AJ Knickel not opting to take that strategy. It is in the final corner that he gets going, and over the line, catching Jamie Knock napping only slightly. Jamie Knock with a good getaway there. However, it's Boryoshi that read it super well. All over the back of Julius Duca in the Aston Martin, who did not seem to catch it. And up into P3 for the Mercedes of Boryoshi.
Jackson Altman, Casper, and Nick Pichet are gonna have to try and claw their way back through.
Oh yeah, this will really be something. Casper sticking those elbows out early off this restart. Not looking to let Jackson Altman by too easily, knowing that he has a chance at this if he's able to hold this group long enough.
Oh, Pichet's all over the back of Altman already. He's gonna have to duck out of it as Cavanini gets pushed down 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. 5 spots, right? 3 spots, rather.
Nico Pichet seeming to just kind of lay in wait at the moment. Knows that he will have his chance to strike soon enough. Bit of traffic in front of him as far as he's concerned, not much more. Takes a peek up the outside, not quite enough space to make anything happen here. Will not be opting for the dive bomb as they make their way through the first and second corners.
Oh, it is a mess up here for the final podium position, though.
Oh yeah, Jamie Knock.
AJ getting shuffled out.
Jamie Knock and AJ
contact! Casper into the back of AJ. Yeah, he got help, Alex. Casper slammed into the back of him, pushed him off.
Oh man. And that has given Jackson Altman the go-ahead here. Up into P3.
That's relegated AJ all the way down from P3 to P13.
Yeah, unfortunate contact there for the AlphaTauri. I'm sure the stewards will be hearing plenty about that post-race.
Oh, Casper has wing damage.
Jackson Altman looking to make the inside slip here on Jamie Knock.
Whoa!
Oh, and there's contact there. Jamie Knock kind of wheelbangs him, not gonna lie. Jackson Altman has to back out a bit, and now he's under pressure from Nico Pichet because of it. Does not appear to be any visual damage on that Red Bull. Coming across the line for lap 11. Just about 1/3 of our way through this race. And the story for the moment is Jackson Altman. He's all over the tail end of that Ferrari of Jamie Knock, however, not able to make the move happen, at least yet. Looking around the outside now. He's just about level with that Ferrari, however, not quite enough. He has the inside line as he goes through here, though. And it looks like he will make up the position up into P2. However, Ferrari of Jamie Knox still alongside him.
Whoa!
Oh, and kind of pinches him off the corner. Up back into P2 is Jamie Knock. Nico Pichet just kind of looking to pick up the crumbs here whenever the time may
And
come.
Mikey is back.
Yeah, Mikey DeYoung quickly inserting himself back into the conversation. P5, less than half a second behind Pichet.
It's important for Altman, too, to just slam the door whenever possible on Pichet. He's got to try and get this. There's going to be a lot of weaving here. Oh, Pichet on the outside. Jackson Altman's not going to give him any room, but it's not much of a choice.
Sweeping his way around and up into P3. Altman with his work cut out from here. That was the one driver he really had to keep behind him, and now he will be fighting off the back foot. You have to think there will come a point very soon where Jamie Knock is just sort of causing traffic, if nothing else. Nico Pichet taking a quick peek up the inside as they make their way through Sector 2. Not quite enough on that attempt. DRS train forming here behind the Mercedes of Borioshi, and I mean, this is a five-way fight. Ooh, right up into the tail of Borioshi is that Ferrari of Jamie Knock, letting him know he's there. However, they will hold station for the time being. Across the line, it will be Borioshi. However, Nico Pichet making the slip up the inside of teammate Jamie Knock.
And there comes
Ferrari
Mikey.
swapping places. Mikey DeYoung also making a move here. Will get the better of Jackson Altman. Cameron Lopez making his way back up into this somehow. 3 seconds behind this lead pack, but still P6 for that Red Bull for the time being. And Nico Pichet sweeps in for the lead of this race, taking it from Borioshi, thank you very much. Ferrari 1-5 for the time being. Jackson Altman making his way past Jamie Knock as well in the time being. And just like that, Mikey DeYoung has made his way back up onto the podium.
Yeah, and everybody else on the grid just helpless looking at that Ferrari take off.
DeYoung looking to take the fight to the Mercedes of Borioshi, it looks like. All over the back end, and you have to think that those hard compound tires that were swapped to, I believe, on lap 3, should have plenty of life left. However, we're seeing a lot of drop-off thus far from Borioshi.
Yeah. The lead's already up to 1.3 seconds. It's borderline insanity.
Mikey DeYoung making the slip with the assistance of DRS here through the first corner, and he cleanly takes P2. Jackson Altman also making the move up into P3 past Borioshi. And now he's working the tail end of that Williams. I feel like this race isn't terribly in hand by any means as far as any one driver's finish is concerned. I don't think Nico Pichet is necessarily walking away with it just yet. Give it a couple more laps, of course, but 1.7 seconds isn't anything to write home about, but it's also nothing to dismiss either. We could see a good fight for the win here, however, seems that it's shaping out to be a bit of a battle for the podium. And so far, we've had 5 cars that look fully capable of shooting for one of those podium positions. Across the line is Pichet taking lap 15 here, not quite halfway. Two safety car incidents already on this one. Jackson Altman swapping places with Mikey DeYoung there. So P2 and P3 for that Red Bull and Williams respectively. Bit of leapfrog going on here. Boryoshi sticking right to the tail end, about half a second behind Mikey DeYoung. Jamie Knock doing just the same, about half a second behind Boryoshi. And Cameron Lopez, don't look now, but he's really catching these tail end podium contenders really, really quickly. Gap was about 3 seconds, now down to about 1 second over the span of about 2.5 laps.
Now, the more these guys fight, it's going to pull Cameron right back in and make things a lot more interesting.
Yeah, Lopez now well within DRS range of the Ferrari of Jamie Knock, and this may very well turn into a 6 or 7 car fight soon enough, as Lewis Rundle is also right there along with Cameron Lopez in P7.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic race thus far. Nothing to slouch on. Of course, Cameron Lopez coming off his MX-5 iRacing Cup win, so got a lot of confidence going into this week.
Yeah, can't ask for much more. Gap from Nico Pichet to Jackson Altman in P2, already up to just about 3 seconds. Told you folks, just give it a couple laps. It seems that Pichet has certainly found his groove, and he's just kind of off and running with this one. Put it in cruise control. Gap now 3.2 and growing fast. Mikey DeYoung still all over the tail end of that Red Bull of Jackson Altman as we see another position swap. Cameron Lopez making his way past the Ferrari of Jamie Knock up into P5. Now all over the tail end of that Mercedes of Boryoshi as well. And if nothing else, I'm glad that they've been able to keep it interesting thus far.
Yep.
As they cross the line, lap 17, so this will be the halfway mark of this Grand Prix.
Oh, contact.
Oh yeah, Cameron Lopez making his way past Boryoshi, but really having to stick his elbows out for it. Looks like they touched wheels for a moment there as they came through the first few corners.
Oh, look at Lewis Rundle.
Oh, all over the tail end of that Ferrari. He is looking to put himself into this conversation, and fast.
Oh, and Andrew Davis is off. Doesn't look to appear to have any damage, but he certainly was off.
Trouble for
Yellow
the
flags for
Alpine.
Sector 1.
He'll rejoin in P12, and he's got a lot to make up here if he's trying to make his way into the points tonight. Lopez now, should be noted, out of DRS range of Mikey DeYoung, if only for a moment, now back within it, just slightly. However, it seems that Mikey DeYoung and Jackson Altman are just kind of leapfrogging each other further forward than this pack is able to
Andrew
catch
Davis
them.
is off again.
So maybe there is some damage involved with that Alpine, unfortunately.
I don't want to say a skill issue, but maybe dirty tires. He's not able to put any power down right now. He almost swings it around again. Just pay attention here if he pits. Oh yeah, he can't get any power down. He's coming into the pit.
Yeah, could be a possible puncture there.
Ooh. And speeding.
Yeah, not able to slow the car down soon enough, and he will
Meanwhile,
just take a retirement for his troubles. His day is done. Meanwhile, bit of movement up here. Mikey DeYoung P2, Jackson Altman P3, Cameron Lopez doing his best to stay in the fight along with Boryoshi, who himself has now fallen out of DRS range. P5 for the Mercedes, and about a second to make up with that Ferrari of Jamie Knock and the AlphaTauri of Lewis Rundle kind of breathing down his neck at the moment. So will there be any movement? Yes, Jackson Altman will make the slip on the Williams of De Jong for P2.
Oh, and that retired car is just causing havoc.
Oh no.
That's just insane. That's gotta be. That is such a stupid thing to do. Retire in the pits and the damn car just comes out. That is so stupid. You're gonna affect everybody else's race because you have a skill issue. That's just absurd.
Oh, and I'm sure we will see some form
Nothing
of
will come of it.
appeal.
Stewards won't say anything. No one will even blink an eye. That's stupid.
It's fine.
Oh, and there's contact between teammates.
Which two? Is that the Astons?
No, the Red Bulls. Cameron Lopez giving
Oh.
Jackson Altman a bit of a nudge there as he's crept onto the back of this battle for P2. The battle for P2, Alex, I swear, if it was a battle for the lead, it would be spicy.
Yeah, Mikey De Jong doing his very best to stay up there in the fight.
Whoa! No!
Bit of leapfrog being played. Oh, as Cameron Lopez will look to make the slip on the Williams as well. Mikey De Jong falling to P4 for the time being.
Yeah, Cameron almost got both. He almost went from P4 to P2. Gee.
Mikey De Jong clearly showing the pace.
Oh!
Having a look up the
Cameron
outside
Lopez
there.
not really leaving space there. A bit Verstappen-esque. Here's the thing, Alex. Cameron Lopez doesn't really drive for the Red Bull team. He is a reserve, so he doesn't... There's no team orders as it goes for him. Then again, I
Right.
don't really think there's team orders up and down the grid, seeing as what I've seen in the past 2 seasons.
Plenty of pace in the Williams to make that position back, of course. It's really only on the start-finish straight with DRS assistance that we are seeing those Red Bulls able to get past the Williams. However, De Jong doing his very best to make his way through the rest of the track a lot cleaner than they're able to. However, on this attempt, he's a bit back from Lopez. About 4/10, looking to slingshot his way up. Does not look like he will have enough space to make it happen on this occasion. But they are tight, it should be noted. Boriyoshi sticking right there. About a second back from De Jong, however, right in the fight. With Lewis Rundle, of course, still right there with him.
Yeah, Lewis has driven just such a superb race. Pichet's increased it to 7.5 seconds. But this battle for second, I only think is just heating up, Alex.
Yeah, Lopez doing his level best to keep up with teammate Jackson Altman here. Mikey De Jong right there along for the ride. And this is getting spicy. It seems that the race has really sort of leveled itself out here, as Cameron
Cameron's in
Lopez
the pit.
will duck his way into the pits, as well as Lewis Rundle right behind him. Will be interesting to see what they opt to do here. It is the medium compound for the Red Bull of Lopez, as well as the soft compound there for the AlphaTauri of Rundle. Seems that they're the only two to have made their way into the pits on this occasion. They will rejoin in P8 and P9 respectively. And yeah, it's hammer time as far as Lewis Rundle is concerned. He's having himself a great race. Nearly guaranteed points at this point, barring any, of course, crazy incident or whatnot. We had 2 early ones, but things really seemed to settle themselves down as the race went on, and I don't imagine that we'll see too much more trouble before the checkered flag.
One would think that Jackson Altman's tires are gonna hit a cliff eventually.
Yeah, the gap to Pichet growing more and more.
Yeah, he's gonna duck in now.
Sensing that it's probably time.
Cameron might have pulled a perfect undercut here on his teammate, depending on what his teammate throws on. Ooh, and those are going to
What will it
be
be? It
the
will be
softs.
the softs for the Red Bull of Altman. Will he beat his teammate out, though? Exiting the pit lane now, and it looks like Lopez is just making his way onto the start-finish straight. And he
Yep.
will make his way past Altman. Lopez up into P5. Boriyoshi also making his way into the pits on that occasion, coming back out in P8. What did he opt for? Soft tires as well for the Mercedes. Julius Duku, the next one to choose to bite. Into the pits he goes, down to P13.
Yeah, Nicholas Pichet not even budging.
Yeah, no gap lower than 7 seconds between the top four at the moment. Cameron Lopez 2 seconds behind Jamie Knock for P4. Jackson Altman a second and a half behind teammate Cameron Lopez. And I think this will be kind of a sprint to the end for a lot of these drivers. I mean, these gaps are looking a bit insurmountable as it looks now, but as the laps go along, I'm sure that we will see those gaps close tighter and tighter as we get some new fastest laps up on the board. It is Lewis Rundle. Only for a moment was it Jackson Altman, but Lewis quickly takes it away as we see a penalty being dished out for track limits violations to Jamie Cavallini, currently racing P12, unfortunately.
Oh, it is Lewis Rundle with the fastest lap by a second. He's all over the back of Altman, who's right behind his teammate. These guys looking to make a charge towards the front, trying to track down Jamie Knock here.
Mikey DeYoung now with nearly 10 seconds to work with in both directions. 10 seconds to Pichet, but another 10 just about to Tyler Crabtree, currently occupying that final podium position.
And he's got to duck in here.
Yeah, into the pits goes the Williams. From his hard compound tires after an oh no, he started the race on hards, did he not? He was playing the long game.
He did, and then he switched under one of those safety cars to see Jackson go faster.
It'll be the mediums for DeYoung as he makes his way back out onto the track. Will be spit out in P8 behind Boriyoshi. Another penalty being assessed for track limits there. This one for Ayrton Frederick in P11.
And we saw a bit of a position swap as Altman. Oh, that's
Oh no, Jamie
Ayrton.
Knock?
Jamie Knock is
Yep.
around.
Oh, and he is slow getting back on straight in front of Mikey DeYoung. Had to jam the brakes to avoid contact there, the Williams. We are still
The tires
green,
are going to be a
though.
bit overheated.
Local yellow only for a moment due to that incident. And yeah, I can't imagine that that's a fun time driving that Ferrari at the moment. Jamie Knock tumbling his way down to P8 for his troubles. Mikey DeYoung almost catching a really bad break off of it. Another local yellow now as we see cautions out in Sector 2.
Aiden McCarthy, the same spot that Jamie Knock went off. He goes off.
Jamie may have taken some dust back onto the track on his rejoin or whatnot. Tough to tell, obviously. So we're good to go here. No VSC or safety car necessary. I mean, of course, no car to clean up. Jimmy Knock did manage to get it going, only lost a few positions because of it. However, we're off and running here with the Williams of Mikey DeYoung. Medium tires, cannot imagine that he's looking to stop. Given any circumstances, safety car or not, he will be staying out for the rest of this race. He's got some ground to make up. Currently about, let's say 29.5 seconds behind the leader, Nicolas Pichet, is Mikey de Jong. But of course, those gaps of the drivers ahead of him are not insurmountable by any means. Already seeming to catch the tail end of the Mercedes of Borioshi ahead of him, gap now under 1.5 seconds.
And those guys are quickly gaining on Tyler Crabtree, who's on 20-lap old mediums. Put the gap out in front. 20-lap old mediums doesn't look like any signs of cracking.
Yeah, Altman, Lopez, and Rundle are on a real charge here. Just sort of sticking with each other, forming their own little DRS train. And Tyler Crabtree is quickly going to fall victim to this pack, it seems. Jackson Altman already taking a look up the inside. Will have to back out for the moment. Tyler Crabtree is maintaining the position to the best of his abilities. However, I can't imagine that it'll be for much longer. As Jackson Altman takes a slip up the inside, side by side they are, and forces him a
Pichet's
bit
in the
wide, but
pit.
that was his own mistake, unfortunately, for Tyler Crabtree. Down to P5, losing 3 positions for it. Leader of this race into the pits, and he's basically banked himself a free pit stop off the gap that he's built alone. He will probably come back out, I'd say, P5 or so.
Oh, he's going
But,
to come out with the lead.
oh, is he? Oh.
With a 5-second lead, almost 4-second.
I did not know it would be that quick. However, yes, like right back where he was 26 seconds ago, Nico Pichet back into the lead of this race. This time, however, by 3.5 seconds instead of 23.5.
Yeah, about a 20-second pit stop here, so...
And it's crunch time. I mean, this train that has formed fighting for P2 is... I mean,
It's
it's
been
now
good
or
all
never.
race.
Yeah. They've been super respectful and super clean throughout. But more than anything, they've kept it interesting and entertaining, and I'm thankful for that, if nothing else. I mean, Tyler Crabtree is not necessarily out of it by any means. About a second and a half back already of Lewis
His
Rundle.
tires are screaming.
Yeah.
He's going to let his teammate by, but that's going to open the door for Mikey de Jong as well.
Oh, and Mikey de Jong had a look there at Borioshi in that swap. Shuffles in behind him, though, for the time being. However, can't imagine that it'll be for much longer as he does take the pass up the inside. Going into the first corner, he is cleanly and far ahead of that Mercedes of Borioshi. So up into
Cameron Lopez
P5.
got by his teammate, up into P2.
Yeah, now it's Lopez's turn to, I guess, take a shot at the crown. However, it should be noted that the gap to Nico Pichet has gone from 3.5 to 4.9 already, just about 5 seconds.
E. Yeah, those soft tires won't have as much life as the medium tires here, so Cameron looking to take advantage of that. But Jackson will have a huge run down the pit straight.
Yeah, Lopez just looking to play defense from here, it seems, as Nico Pichet lays down a fastest lap. Blistering race pace, the 1:12.7. Jackson Altman having a look on his teammate Lopez, cleanly up past him into the first corner. P2 it is for that Red Bull. Lopez will have to settle for P3 for the moment. About 3.5 laps left to race here. And I believe within the next lap or so, Nico Pichet may run into his first back marker. Which, of course, doesn't sound like it should be too much trouble, but you never know.
These guys are racing each other great right now.
Yeah. Altman, having made the move on teammate Lopez for P2, is looking to make a strong impression on those soft compound tires. However, is Lopez close enough to make the move here? He is. Up into P2 over Altman. They're just kind of leapfrogging at this point. Oh, and Altman needing to jam on the brakes there. Lopez sort of cutting the corner a bit. At least
And
pinching off
Mikey
his
DeYoung
teammate.
has joined the party.
He has.
He's
Right
going
up
to look
into the
up the
tail
inside.
end of the
Ooh!
AlphaTauri. Lewis Rundle is under pressure as Mikey DeYoung does take the inside line and makes his way up into P4. Those Red Bulls are clean in sight, and he has a good shot at P2 here.
Trying to spoil the Red Bull party.
Not quite enough on that attempt with DRS assistance to make any type of move on the Red Bulls. Of course, Jackson Altman also having DRS assistance off the tail of teammate Kierman Lopez. Through the final two corners they come, starting the penultimate lap. And if Mikey DeYoung's going to make a move, I feel like it's got to be sometime soon. DRS down the main straight. Is it enough? Not quite. However, Altman will take the leapfrog over teammate Lopez. And it has just been a swap for those Red Bulls lap after lap for the last few. Caution's out in Sector 3, local yellow flag. Not too sure what it could be for. It looks like the Haas of Jamie Cavanini. As we see Mikey DeYoung making the slip on Kierman Lopez in the meantime, up into P3, he found himself on the podium with only one more box to tick with the Red Bull in front of him of Jackson Altman before he's in the de facto non-Piché lead of this race.